if you're trying to eat healthier to lose weight, you might think you're better off going to Panera and ordering a sandwich than you would be going to McDonald's and getting a cheeseburger. But depending on the sandwich, you're actually better off getting the burger. Did you know that there's a sandwich on Panera's menu that packs almost 1,000 calories and nearly your entire day's worth of sodium? Your McDonald's cheeseburger is going to be about half that. So the truth is, marketers know how to make you think something is healthy when it actually isn't. Today I'm exposing the imposters and letting you know what to eat instead. What's up? I'm Melanie Ash of MelanieAshFitness.com and Fitness Evolution Personal Training Studios here in beautiful Columbus, Ohio. I'm a personal trainer, I'm a fitness nutrition specialist, and a women's wellness expert. And today I want to talk about faux healthy foods. These are specifically foods that we tend to think of as healthy, but they either aren't healthy at all, or you need to be a label reader and be your own detective to determine whether or not this is a healthy item. I am breaking down 5 food imposters and what to eat instead. Number 1 on the list is restaurant salads. Many of us, when we start changing our eating habits and we want to eat healthier, we go out to eat, we think, okay, a salad. A salad is the way to go because there's vegetables in a salad, right? Yeah, there's vegetables in a salad, but many restaurant salads also include cheese, nuts, dried fruit, bacon bits, and a lot of very high-calorie, high-fat dressing. Have you ever looked up the nutrition content for the Olive Garden salad? Yikes! It's like one of the fattiest things you can eat. So restaurant salads are almost never the best bet on the menu. They pack tons of extra fat and calories in all of those extras that come on the salad. And then oftentimes, if we were to omit them, so get the dressing on the side, ask them to hold the cheese, maybe take off the nuts, eliminate the dried fruit, what you end up being left with typically is like romaine lettuce and maybe a couple of pieces of carrot and a tomato. So avoid the restaurant salad trap. They're often super, super calorie heavy. In fact, some restaurants, that's the most calorie heavy thing on the menu are some of their salads. What to do instead? When you go out to eat, look for grilled proteins, so chicken, fish, maybe even a steak, low-fat cut of steak. Have them grilled, ask for any sauce or butters on the side, and then order some sauteed veggies as your side and skip the potatoes or the french fries, and you're going to save yourself tons of calories that you would have had in that salad. Number 2 of our healthy food imposters, speaking of salad, I already mentioned it. In fact, it's dried fruit. Fruit is healthy, therefore dried fruit must be good for us, right? Not really. So the thing that's great about fruit is, yes, it does have sugar and it has natural sugar, but it also has a lot of fiber, which helps balance out the sugar in fruit. Dried fruit essentially removes all of the fiber and kind of concentrates that piece of fruit down into basically a natural jelly bean. It's just a piece of candy, basically. So when it comes to fruit, you want to stick with fresh. Frozen is even okay as long as it's just fruit. It's not in a syrup or anything like that with no added sugars. And avoid any dried fruits whenever possible. Number 3 of our healthy food imposters, yogurt. Yogurt is a tricky one because, sure, we've heard of probiotics, great for our digestion and our digestive tract. And yogurt also can be high protein and it can be low calorie. But yogurt can also be extremely high in sugar even when it's semi-low calorie, and often those are added sugars. There is one particular brand of yogurt out there that has a bunch of different flavored kinds that have over 20 grams of added sugar, which is almost, for a woman, your day's worth of added sugar content. So when it comes to yogurt, your best option is to go for Greek yogurt, which tends to be higher in protein, and to avoid any yogurts that have any flavor or any fruit on the bottom, faux fruit or anything like that. Get plain Greek yogurt, add your own fruit if you want it to be a little sweeter, even a little bit of a drizzle of honey. But you've got to be a label reader with yogurt and check out how much sugar. Look for something with 10 grams or less per serving. That's going to be your best bet with yogurt. So don't be fooled. Just because it's yogurt does not mean that it's healthy, and it might have as much sugar as, drinking a glass of juice. Yikes. Number 4, speaking of juice, pre-made green juices or fruit and vegetable juices. I'm not talking about your local places. We have several here in Columbus, Ohio that are fantastic that make green juices with vegetables and fruits that are fresh. Those are fine. I'm talking about certain brands that you find in the aisle at the grocery store, even the convenience store, that are pre-made, pre-packaged, processed, and have a shelf life of a few days. Again, these tend to be loaded with added sugars. And especially if you're going somewhere like a Smoothie King or something like that, you're basically getting a fruit milkshake. Not any better for you than just going for the milkshake, except they're probably dairy-free. So if you're looking for a green juice, you should either look for a local place that you trust, that you know is making things fresh, or even better, save yourself the time and the money, get a nice blender or a juicer and make your own smoothies with fresh fruit, fresh vegetables at home. Keep the fiber in would be my recommendation, so rather than just drinking green juice, make it a smoothie, drink that fiber, you're much better off, and you don't end up ingesting a ton of added sugar, which, if you're noticing a theme here, is what we're trying to avoid. Number 5 on my list of 5 healthy food imposters and what to eat instead. Number 5 is granola. And wouldn't it be great if granola was a healthy food? Because granola is very, very good, in my opinion. But that's because granola is basically a crumbled up cookie or candy bar. Unfortunately, yes, it's sad but true. It may have a little bit more natural ingredients. It may be made with things like oats, which by themselves are great for you. But again, it's loaded down with sugar. A handful of granola, depending on the size of your hands, is at least 200 calories and probably more. And who only eats a handful? I know I've been guilty of kind of picking out of a granola bag because it's yummy. It's basically like a cookie. So what that means is if you're looking for a crunch and you like your granola, start to change that out for nuts like almonds. Some sliced almonds are great, a little bit of pistachios, even walnuts. Or you can make your own at home. Take whole oats, just maybe a little bit of honey and some cinnamon, and then bake them in the oven. And you can make your own very healthy, low sugar granola option. So as much as I love granola, sorry folks, it just isn't healthy. So there's your 5 food imposters, healthy food imposters. Restaurant salads, dried fruit, yogurt, pre-packaged, pre-made green juices and fruit juices, and granola. And I gave you some great options as far as what to eat instead. The takeaway here is this: don't be fooled. Marketers want you to think food is healthy because they know that you care about your health, but they don't care about your health. So they're going to sell you anything, and they're going to make you think, if they put it in a brown bag and stick the word organic on it, that you're going to think it's healthy and that you'll buy it. So just be mindful. You've got to educate yourself, read labels, and look out for things like hidden sugars in things like yogurt and so on. If you're looking for some extra help, check out my 30-day free 30-day ab challenge. I put a link here with this video. It's 30 days of diet guidelines designed to get you a flat belly fast, eliminate bloating, target belly fat, and then a calendar with exercises to do every day for 30 days. And last month, folks lost as much as 5 pounds in just 3 weeks. It's a really fun program. There's also a Facebook group where you get to interact with me and other participants, share recipes, and it's been very motivating for folks. I'd love for you to check it out. It is free. There is a link here with this video. It is melanieashfitness.com/30-day ab challenge. I'm gonna pop in on Facebook here on my computer. If you have any questions, I'm all yours. I'd love to answer any questions that you guys might have. I can't see them here on the phone, so I'm gonna open up my Facebook page here on my computer. So while I'm doing that, feel free to be typing in your questions. What do you wanna know about? It could be about healthy food, diet, exercise. It could be about that 30-day challenge. Anything you wanna know about. So let me pop in here and see what questions you guys may have. All right, here we go. Nothing yet. Well, I did have a question this week from Tracy. Hi, Tracy, if you're out there. Tracy wanted to know about carb cycling. She asked if carb cycling was a good idea. Is it effective? And carb cycling refers to basically undulating your eating. So you might eat higher carb days and then lower carb days, basically. While carb cycling is absolutely can be effective, for most people, unless you're trying to do a fitness competition or have a very, dedicated goal, it's really more work than most of us need to put in, and it can be a little bit of a negative, because if you're doing high carb, low carb, if you're someone who doesn't do well low carb, then you kind of get into a cycle of having days where you don't feel great and days where you don't look forward to what you're eating. I don't recommend carb cycling unless you really want to have some kind of, you want to experiment with your body and see your carb tolerance, or if you're trying to get lean for maybe a fitness competition. Otherwise, carb cycling is probably more work than you need to be doing just to lose some weight, but yes, it can be effective. So I believe, here's some questions. Kathy says she loves fresh fruit. It's abundant this time of year. How much is too much? I know, right now is great for fresh fruit, Kathy. I've been feeling the same way. So here's the thing about fruit. Yes, it's sugar, and yes, it has calories. So yes, you can overeat it. 2 to 3 servings a day of fruit is fine, totally fine. Sticking to lower sugar fruits can help. So your berries, your watermelon, even apples, things like that. If it's a banana for women, I would usually recommend a half a banana a day. If you're gonna do the whole one, that's okay, but then maybe just stick to 2 servings, so maybe just 1 other serving of fruit. I never recommend that people avoid fruit. We don't need to be afraid of it just because it has sugar, but as with everything, you wanna be mindful of how much you're eating, and I think a lot of us tend to kind of compensate, like, we're eating healthy, fruits and vegetables. Well, I'll eat a lot of fruit and not so many vegetables, so that balances out, right? And it's like, you still need to eat those vegetables. So I would still recommend getting 4 to 6 servings of vegetables a day and 2 to 3 servings of fruit. So you want to keep your veggies high and balance your fruit out by not having it go in the other direction. And when possible, fresh or freshly frozen fruit. Avoid canned fruit and avoid dried fruit, as I said earlier. Thanks, Kathy. Wonderful question. Brands of granola that are low in sugar. This is Megan's question. Do you have any brands of granola you can recommend? I don't. There aren't any. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I haven't done hugely investigative research into granola, but granola is granola, girl. Read the label, look for something with less than 10 grams of sugar per serving, but unfortunately, no, I don't have a recommendation. I have a client that eats one called paleo granola that's not too terribly bad. It's still about 200 calories per serving, which is 1/4 of a cup, which is like that much. So the best I can tell you is just be your own detective, look for something with 10 grams of less of sugar per serving, measure your serving with granola, because as I said earlier, those things can add up really quickly when we're kind of picking and munching, and you might not realize you could take in 500 calories of granola pretty easily. So just be careful with that. All right, thank you, Megan, for your question. Kathy asked my feelings on dehydrated vegetables. If you are making them yourself at home, dehydrated vegetables are fantastic. Awesome. They still have the fiber, they last a little bit longer, they give you some crunch, that's great. If we're talking about dehydrated vegetables at the grocery store, if it's just the vegetable and there's no other ingredients, totally fine. What you want to watch out for is the oils that are used. So read the label, and if it's using, a hydrogenated oil, any kind of vegetable oil, that's probably not ideal. And you'll know this by, if you pick up a package of dehydrated vegetables and it's pretty high calorie per serving, then there's probably quite a bit of oil in that and not something that I would recommend. If you're doing dehydrated vegetables at home, even dehydrated fruits, go for it. Like, I'm all about it. Very cool. All right, thank you. Another Kathy, that's 2 Kathys. Thank you, other Kathy, for your question. These are great questions, you guys. I have a couple more minutes here. I have a client coming at 4 o'clock, but I still have a couple more minutes, so I'm going to check and see here if there are any other questions. Let's see, Kathy. Oh, yes, Kathy. Do I recommend a dehydrator brand? You know what? I don't have any experience with that. I don't have a dehydrator, and I have never done dehydrated vegetables at home. So, unfortunately, I cannot recommend a brand. I'm sorry about that, but no, I don't actually do that. I like to steam my vegetables, and I just bought an Instant Pot. Shameless plug, I love my Instant Pot. So if you're looking for something that makes like food prep super fast and easy, and you like to steam your vegetables, go for the Instant Pot. It's fantastic. I am really into like vegetable purees, so I like to steam my veggies up super soft and then put them in a food processor and blend them into like mush. I am somehow like a toddler, I don't know, but they're really good. So no, I'm sorry that I can't recommend a dehydrator, but yes, dehydrated vegetables, fantastic. I see Angela has joined. Hi Angela, how are you? I'll see you tomorrow morning. Glad to have you on watching. So for those of you who just joined, I was talking about healthy food imposters, foods that we tend to think are healthy, but really aren't. Number one was restaurant salads, and I said go for grilled chicken and sauteed vegetables instead. Number two was dried fruit. We want to eat fresh fruit whenever possible. Number three is yogurt. You got to read the label. Make sure it's less than 10 grams of sugar per serving. Go for plain Greek yogurt whenever possible. Number four was pre-packaged, pre-made fruit and vegetable juices. Get your own green juice by making your own with a blender or a juicer, or find someone you trust, like Zest here in Columbus, Ohio. Fantastic green juices. Zest in Grandview and Dublin. And number five was granola. I so wish granola was a health food because it's so good, but it's not. Just like I wish cookies were a health food because they're so good, but they're not. And cookies, granola and cookies are essentially the same thing. So I'm gonna check one last time for any last questions, and then I gotta run, y'all. Gotta get ready for clients. Nothing else that I see here. So thank you so much for being here. Don't forget about that 30-day ab challenge. If you want to join, it's free. The link is here with the video. If you think of any questions after this and you pop them in there, I will definitely look for that and answer those. And I will talk to you guys again next week. Have a good one.